In this one short video, we are going to start calculus. Now, in calculus, the starting point is nothing but set theory. And set theory defines the language of calculus and mathematics. So in this video, we are going to systematically start with weightage of set theory in JEE Mains. Then we are going to go and understand what are the syllabus and the mind map of this chapter. And then we are going to systematically go into the 9 problem types that I have classified all the previous 5 years questions into. Now before we start this video, there is a do and there is a don't. The do is, do not watch this video like a movie. Keep a pen and paper handy with you, solve questions, make notes, take pointers at how I am approaching those 9 problem types. The don't is, this video is not meant for a beginner. So if you are a person who is starting set theory, this is not a good starting point. You should go into another video in the playlist wherein we have taught this topic from basics and then come on to problem types. So without any further delay, let us start with it. Now sometimes you can find one question in the paper. It is not compulsory that in every attempt there is going to be one question from set theory. Set theory question is not directly asked from the topic. It is usually asked in connection with other topics. So like there can be a question involving modulus in set theory. There can be a calculation involving PNC and set theory, and there can be a question involving exponential equation, inequation and set theory. Now if I look into the syllabus comparison, you can see that there are 3 subtopics that were asked in 24, that is sets and their representation, union, intersection, complement and their properties, and power set, and these 3 topics have remained same in 2025. So from syllabus point of view, there has been no change. Now if I look into the mind map of this topic, you can see that the discussion starts with the definition of sets. Then we move towards representation of set and learn rooster form of representation, set builder form and some standard notation from number theory. Then we move towards type of set where we look into empty set, universal set, equal set, finite set, infinite set. And then the discussion moved towards subset wherein we delve into 3 very important areas: number of subsets, intervals and power set. And ultimately the diagram, Venn diagram, that is very important to understand the pictorial depiction of a set and solve quantitative problems based on set theory. Then we move towards the interpretation of operation in terms of union, intersection, complement and difference of a set and solve problems based on this. And ultimately we end the chapter with discussion on practical problems or quantitative analysis of certain areas using set theory. Let us start our discussion with type 1 problems that are based on quantitative analysis. What does this mean? This means in this kind of questions, either you are going to use the Venn diagram. Now, you can also apply the technique of number of elements in A union B, this formula, that is nothing but n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Or we could apply this formula for 3 terms. A union B union C is nothing but n of A plus n of B plus n of C minus n of A intersection B. We will take 2, B intersection C, C intersection A. In the third one, the sign will change to positive and we will have plus of A intersection B intersection C. So these 2 techniques would be used to solve the problems. Now this very intelligent question was framed in 2020. Question says that in a survey 63% people in the city read newspaper A, 76% read newspaper B and X read both A and B. Then the possible value of X can be. Now let us draw the Venn diagram and understand what is happening in this question. So if you draw the Venn diagram, this is how the Venn diagram of A and B will look like. This is A and this is B. So if I apply the formula, n of A union B can be written as nothing but n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. The value of n of A is nothing but 63%, n of B is nothing but 76% and this is nothing but X. You can see that if I find this value, it is 139 minus X. Now let us consider 2 scenarios. This was first step, second step. One possible thing is n of A union B, we can see that the maximum it could happen is it could stretch and take all the area inside this square of universal set. So you can see that this value will always be smaller than equal to 100. The maximum possible value is 100%. If I substitute the value here, this is 139 minus x is smaller than equal to 100. So value of x will be greater than equal to 39. One extreme we have figured out from here. See, now we also need to understand that whatever be the intersection, it cannot exceed 63% because the maximum what can happen is another kind of a Venn diagram that looks like this. So what is possible is your B becomes in such a manner that A is completely inside. So this is the maximum intersection that is possible. The maximum intersection that is possible is nothing but 63%. So x needs to be smaller than or equal to 63. See, now we have got the range for x. X can be between 39 and 63. Let us check the options, which option matches. So you can see that B option matches. Now you can pause the video and check that similar question was also asked in 2020. Again in 2021, similar concept based question, similar kind of conditions you will have to write again is asked in 2021 also. If I look into this 2023 question, this is based on a similar kind of question that is given in NCERT in miscellaneous exercise. Question says that an organization awarded 48 medals in event A. So if I write it down, number of elements in event A is nothing but 48. Number of elements in event B is nothing but 25. Number of elements in event C is nothing but 80. This is given to us. Now since one medal can only be given to one person in an event, so these are also equivalent to number of people getting awarded in that event. There is no discrepancy. Now what we are saying is, in the next part, question says that if this medal went to a total of 60 men, so we can also write that n of A union B union C, I am looking only at the men, this will become nothing but 60. What they are saying is only 5 men got medal in all the 3 events. So number of elements in A intersection B intersection C, this is also given as nothing but 5. We are looking into the whole data in terms of men and not medals. This is the distinction that you need to make. This is the first part. Okay, now let us figure out a very simple formula. N of A union B union C, this will be equal to N of A plus N of B plus N of C minus N of A intersection B minus of N B intersection C minus of N C intersection A and plus of N of A intersection B intersection C. If I look into this formula, there are a lot of things that I know. So this is given to us as nothing but 60. The second thing is nothing but 48. The next bit is nothing but 25. Next value is nothing but 18. We want this value. So let us write this as nothing but y. Let us write this as x. And then the total elements that is given in all the 3 categories is nothing but 5. Let us simplify. If you simplify, the value of x from here comes out to be 36. So you can see that 36 people were awarded exactly in these both in 2 categories. But now in this there are also people who got medals in all the 3 categories. So let me show you in the form of a Venn diagram what is happening. So if I draw a Venn diagram, you can clearly see that there will be people. So what I have figured out is sum of this part, sum of this part and sum of this part. So you can see that the part that comes in the middle, that is this part, is counted 3 times. So in order to get the answer, I will have to, from 36, subtract 5 3 times. So this will become 15 and the answer comes out to be 25. Now this 2019 question talks about 2 layers of things happening in the similar question. What is happening is there are 2 newspapers A and B getting distributed in a city. 25% people read newspaper A, 20% read newspaper B, and 8% read both A and B. So see, now what they are talking, the next part is 30% of those who read A but not B. See, so we need to figure out what is A but not B. So when you look into A but not B, what happens is we are looking into this portion of the Venn diagram. And that would essentially means from A, we will have to subtract this part, that is nothing but intersection. So if I want to find this, from this 25, I will have to subtract this 8. And this will become A only, or A but not A. And this is nothing but 17%. If I want to do it for B only, I will have to do this exercise and subtract 8 from 20. So this will become nothing but 12. And then both is already given as nothing but 8. This is the first part. Now let us move to the next part and talk about how many people out of these are reading advertisement. So 30% of the first part reads advertisement. So this will become 0.3 into 17. For the second part, they are saying 50%. Saying that 40% of second would also read advertisements. And for the third one, they are saying that 50% will read advertisement. So what is the percentage of total population who is into advertisement? So we'll have to add them. And if I add them, the answer comes out to be 13.9. Now let us look into this 2024 question. It says that in a survey of 210 students, it was found that at least 125 and at most 135 studied mathematics, at least 85, at most 95 studied physics, at least 75, at most 90 studied chemistry, 30 studied both, 50 studied both chemistry and mathematics, and 40 studied both mathematics and physics, and 10 studied none of the subjects. Then find M and N, which are nothing but the least and the most number of students who have studied all the three subjects. This is what we need to solve. If I look into this question, first I can apply a direct formula. Total number of elements in M union P union C will be equal to N of M plus N of P plus N of C minus N of M intersection P minus N of P intersection C minus N of C intersection M and plus N of C intersection M intersection P. This is what we have. Now we have this. So we will use this along with our Venn diagram to get the answer. So if I look into the first part, now what they are saying is total number of elements that are involved. You can see that 10 students are such that will study none of the subjects. And there are 220 students. So there are 210 students who might study something. This is the first important. Now let us write this. Number of elements in M is capital M. This is capital P and then capital C. Rest of the T values, M intersection P. So if you look into 50 studied both chemistry and physics. Chemistry and physics, second one they have given as nothing but 50. And one of these values they have given as nothing but 40 and another one is 30. So let us write 30, 40. The order can be anything, it is not important. And the thing that we want to find, let us write it as X. This is what we have. If I write it down, let us see what do I get. So if I want to find the value of X, it will become M 210 plus all of these three things will make it 330 and then minus M minus P minus C. This is what we need to find. So you can see that now if I want to find the least value, according to this statement, it will come when these take the maximum values. The maximum values were nothing but 125, 85 and 75. So this, if I take this will give me the maximum value. So for maximum value it is 330 minus 125 plus 85 plus 75, and for the minimum value we will have to take the maximum values, so that are nothing but 130. Second would be nothing but 95 and then 90. If I figure out these values, this first value comes out to be 15 and this next value comes out to be 45. So this is what we have already obtained. See, now what we are saying is the intersection can lie between 15 and 45, and from here most of the people will conclude that the value of small m that is given in the question is 15, capital M, n is nothing but, small n is nothing but 45. But that is not true, because if you look into these intersection values, this is important to consider, that is step 2. If I figure out the intersection values, they were 30, 50 and 40. So you can see that if the intersection of 2 subjects is 30, how can be the intersection of 3 subjects 45? This is not possible. So what we need to understand is the maximum value of x can be 30. Beyond this it can't go. So my inequation now becomes x lies between 15 and 30, and hence if I add these two values, that is what is asked in the question, answer comes out to be 45. Now type 2 questions are based on nothing but subset of a set. What is a subset? If A is a subset of B, that would mean that the Venn diagram is going to look something like this. Now when we are saying subset, A can also be equal to B, that is also possible. Inner set here is nothing but A, outer set here is nothing but B. This is one. Another thing is nothing but if I go with set builder definition, it will say that and x is such that x, if x belongs to A, then x will also belong to B. This is the set builder definition. That would mean that if there is an element that is there in set A, it will also be there in set B. Another thing or a third point to be considered here is, if you have a set A with n elements, then in that scenario the total number of subsets that are possible is nothing but 2 raised to the power n. This is a very powerful idea that we are going to use in solving problems. Now let us look into this 2020 question. Question says that there is a set A having m elements. If set A has n elements, the total number of subset of A would be nothing but 2 raised to the power m. Similarly, you can see that the set B has n element. So subset of B would be nothing but 2 raised to the power n. In the second part, they have given that 2 raised to the power m minus 2 raised to the power n, this is given as 112. That what they want is the value of m into n. See, now there is a way to solve this equation that is very interesting. Figure out the factors of 112. So you can see that this will be 2 raised to the power 4 into 7. So this is the prime factorization. Now what we are saying is, see, if this is a factor of 2, the first and second, there whatever power is common, we can take it out of this. I will give you an example to illustrate it further. So if you have 2 raised to the power 8 into 2 minus 2 raised to the power 4, we can always write this as 2 raised to the power 4 can be taken constant. So you can see that this will have be the even part containing all the common powers of 2, and this will be nothing but an odd number. So what I am saying is, if I take 2 raised to the power n common, this will become m minus n minus 1. This will become an odd number, and this would be nothing but the even number having the powers of 2. So if you have this in the next step or the third step, we can write 2 raised to the power n is equal to 2 raised to the power 4. We get the value of n is 4, and 2 raised to the power m minus n minus 1 is equal to 7. So 2 raised to the power m minus n is equal to 8, that is 2 raised to the power 3. Hence m minus n comes out to be 3 or m comes out to be 7. Now in the fourth part, if I want to find m into n, this would be nothing but 4 into 7, that comes out to be 28. So it is a very peculiar way of solving this 2 raised to the power m minus 2 raised to the power n equation. Now you can clearly see that this 2024 question is a replica of this older question, We have to do exactly same thing in the first part. Once you have figured out the value of m and n, we have to apply the distance formula and get the answer. And this can be easily delivered by you. Now, this type 3 questions are theoretical questions, that is based on theory of sets. Now, let us look into this first question. It talks about a set ABC which are in such a manner that A intersection B is a subset of C. So, when such questions are given, it will make sense that you take some examples to simplify things out. So, for checking question A, we can take the value of A as nothing but 1, 2, 3, B as nothing but 1, 4, 5 and C as nothing but 1, 3, 5, 6. So, if this is with us, then let us take option C, B intersection C. We can see that B intersection C would be nothing but 1 and 5. So, they are saying that this is not equal to null set, and that is totally correct. Now, the question asks which option is not true. Very important to note this not true part, otherwise you will take option A and move forward, that will become wrong. Now, let us check B option. Consider another example. A minus B is a subset of C. So, let us write A in such a manner that 1, 2, 3 is fine. B was also fine, 1, 4, 5. And now it is still satisfying the condition given in the question. So, what we are seeing in the next part is A minus B. A minus B, if you do, it would be nothing but 2, 3. So, let us write our C set is nothing but 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let us write it like this. 1, 2, 3 and 6 let us write. Yes. Now, this question says that A minus B is a subset of C. So, A minus B, if I do, A minus B would be nothing but 2 and 3, and you can see that it is a subset of C. Then A is a subset of C. So, clearly you can see that that is also happening. So, this statement is also correct. Now, you can see that similarly, let us also verify statement C. Statement C says that C intersection A intersection C intersection B. You can see that C union A. If I take this example only and find C union A, it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And you can see that C union B similarly will become nothing but 1, 4, 5, 3, 6. The next part says that if I take intersection of both of them, so if I take intersection of both of them, that intersection comes out to be nothing but 1. Then you can see that 2 is not there, 3 is there. Then you have nothing but 5, 5 is also there, and 6 is also there. So you can see that we have got the same set as nothing but C. So this statement also comes out to be true. So by elimination, we can take option D and move forward. If you want to still check, you can also check for option D. Now this 2020 question came directly out of exemplar problems, because similar question is also given in exemplar problem of mathematics. The question says that if you take union of all the xi's, so what does this statement means? This means x1, then union x2, then union x3 till union of x50. This is what this first statement means. What they are saying is, if I find this statement, it will be equal to taking union of y1, union y2, and this union of y's will go till n. And as a result, what they are saying is, now each of xi contains 10 elements. So you can see that if I have 50 sets, it will have 10 into 50 elements. Each of yi contains nothing but 6, it contains nothing but 5 elements. So there are n sets into 5. These are the total number of elements. Now the question says that if I find this set T, that is nothing but this set, an element is repeated in exactly 20 sets. So you can see that if I want to find unique elements, I will have to divide by 20, because each element is in 20 sets. And similarly, this happens for 6 in the next part, and this will be equal to. So if I equate them, the value of n that I can figure out is nothing but 30. That becomes nothing but option C. Now type 4 questions are based on number system. In this, there are two prominent ideas. One is the idea based on divisibility. Then there could be idea based on SCF and LCM. We'll explore these ideas and how they can be used in forming set question using questions itself. Now this 2019 question talks about a class of 140 students which are numbered 1 to 140. What they're saying is all even numbered students opted for mathematics. So if I want to figure out people who opted for mathematics, it is nothing but 140 divided by 2 greatest integer function. This comes out to be 70. Then the second part says that the students divisible by 3 opted for physics. So physics would be nothing but 140 divided by 3. And if I divide 3 into 4 is nothing but 12. So 3 into 4. So this will become nothing but 46. See, now this greatest integer function technique is very important. When we want to find till what point the numbers will be divisible by 3, we just take the number, divide by the number from which we want to divide and take greatest integer function. This will directly give you the answer. If you want to do it for chemistry, it would be nothing but 140 by 5. And this comes out to be nothing but 28. See, now what we want to find is total number of students that do not opt for any subject. So we'll have to first find union of M, P and C. And this will become number of elements in M, number of elements in P plus number of elements in C, first part. Then from this we'll have to subtract number of elements in M intersection P, number of elements in P intersection C, number of elements with C intersection M, and then we'll have to add the intersection of all the three subjects. This is what the formula is. So now you can see that out of this, these three values are known to us. This we know, this we know, this we know. The next three we don't know, next four we don't know. Let us figure that out. So if I want to find the intersection of these two, this would mean 140 now needs to be a multiple of 2 and 3 both. So we'll divide this by 6 and take GIF. And if I do it so, the answer will come out to be nothing but 23. Second, if I want to find the intersection of B and C, 140 needs to be divided by 3 and 5 both. So this will become 15. And if I do so, answer comes out to be 9. And then if I want to find it for the physics, mathematics and chemistry part, then 140 needs to be multiple of 2 and 5 both. Let us divide it by 10. Answer comes out to be 14. So this is what we have. So let us put the values and see what do we get. So first one becomes nothing but 70. Next one becomes nothing but 46. Next one was nothing but 28. First part becomes 23. Then 9. Then 14. If I want to find intersection of all three, I will have to divide 140 by 60. No, yes, 60. No, not 60. LCM of 2, 3 and 5. This come out to be nothing but 30. And answer for the same would be nothing but 4. So let us substitute this value also, plus 4. Now if I calculate this value, it comes out to be nothing but 102. You can check my calculation. So in the second part, if I want to find total number of students who do not opted for anything, subtract it from 140, answer comes out to be 38. If I look into this 2014 question, what they are saying is they are giving us two sets. This first set is X, another set is Y. Y is easier to interpret because what they are saying is N is nothing but a natural number. all such values. So if I write this y in set builder form, in rooster form, it will become nothing but, if I put 1, it becomes 0. If I put 2, it will become 9, 18, so on and so forth. It will become an infinite set. In order to understand y, what we will have to do is basically we will have to understand 4 raised to the power n. Now minus 3 and minus 1. So for that, let us write 4 as nothing but 1 plus 3 raised to the power n. Minus 3 and minus 1, and if I expand this, it is going to become nothing but nc naught plus nc1 into 3 plus nc2 into 3 square, so on and so forth. Minus 3 and minus 1. You can see that first and second terms cancel out, and we have again got a multiple of 9. This also, if you want to write, this can also be written as nothing but 0, 9, 18 in simpler terms. So now if I find union of both the sets in the third part, so x union y will also become equal to y only, and hence option D matches. Now if I look into this 2020 question is pretty simple. What they are saying is, if you have numbers from 1 to 50, A is a set containing multiples of 2, B is a set containing multiple of 7. Number of elements in X such that smallest subset of X contains both A and B. So what we want fundamentally in this smallest subset, let us write Y, is those elements that will already be in A. So how many elements would be there in A? Let us figure that out. That would be nothing but 50 divided by 2, greatest integer function. I told you the logic behind this idea. Similarly, if I want just for B, I will divide 50 by 7. So this will come out to be 7. And if I talk about both, that is the common elements, it would be 50 by 14. And this will come out to be 3. So now what they are saying is, smallest subset will have how many elements? So that would be nothing but n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B, and that will become 25 plus 7 minus 3 comes out to be 29. Now let us look into this 2024 question. Question says that, and this is a very common thing that they will do, n is an element between 100 and 700 in such a manner that where it belongs to a natural number, it is neither a multiple of 3 nor a multiple of 4. This neither nor logic is very important. So how will we solve such question? So we want to find number of elements in. Let us take the set of numbers multiple of 3 as nothing but P. So what they are saying is not P. Multiple of 3 should not happen, and that would mean intersection. Multiple of 4 is nothing but Q. So Q should also not happen. This is what we want to find. Once you have written in the form of a set theory, we can apply relationship or properties. So if I take complement over this, you can see that the middle sign will get flipped. This is known as De Morgan's law. And now this would be equal to nothing but total minus number of elements in P union Q. Once you have this, what we are going to do is total number of elements. How many number of elements are there? Total number of elements are nothing but 601. How do I know that? Because this is nothing but an arithmetic progression. A plus n minus 1 into t, that is 1. So n will come out to be 601. This is how I figured out. Minus, this can be written as number of elements in P plus number of elements in Q minus number of elements in P intersection Q. This is what we need to figure out. So you can see that this was the first part of the question. In the second part of the question, we'll have to figure out number of elements in P. How to figure that out? That would mean whatever elements are coming till 700, which are divisible by 3. So 700 divided by 3 ka greatest integer function. This is the technique that I told you. And before this would be nothing but 99 divided by 3 ka greatest integer function. So this will lie between 100 and 700. If I divide by 3, this comes out to be 3 into 2. 233. This will become 33. Answer becomes 200. If I want to find number of elements in Q, let us see how to find it. It is nothing but a multiple of 4. So divide by 4 का greatest integer function. 99 by 4 का greatest integer function. This will become nothing but 4 times 1. Then 30 will come. 7 and then 5. If I divide this, so it would be slightly less than 25, so 24. If I subtract, it comes out to be 151. Now, last thing that we'll want to find is P intersection Q. That would mean we'll have to take LCM of 4 and 3. That will become 12. We will subtract this from 99 by 12 का GI. Now you know that 700 by 4 is nothing but 175. 175 if I divide by 3. Or you can directly divide by 12 also. So 175 divided by 3 would be nothing but 15. So 5, 25, so 3, 8. This will become nothing but 58. And we know that 100, so this is slightly less than to 24. 24 divided by 3 would be nothing but 8. So this comes out to be 50. Now in the third part, let us substitute the value. So answer becomes 601 minus n of p, that was nothing but 200, plus 151 minus 50. So you can see that this becomes nothing but 301 and answer comes out to be 300. So option A, if you check here, matches. So you can see that we are doing the same thing that I have taught you, but different here and slightly different variation using properties of sets. Now let us look into this type 5 problem, that is nothing but problems based on sequence and series and sets. If I look into this 2022 question says that S be a set of 469, T be a set for starting from 9 to 1000, and A be a set of elements A1, A2, A3, AK all summed up, where A1, A2, A3, AK all belongs to set S. Now sum of all the elements in T and that are not there in A. So T minus A they are asking. See, now if you want to write set A, what is going to happen? Certain number of 4 will come, certain number of 6 will come, and certain number of 9 will come. And essentially when you have done that, any element corresponding to T that will come in A will always have this form. Let us say 4 came n1 times, 6 will come n2 times, and then 9 will come n3 times. So any element will look of this nature once you have added all of these up. So this is how any element in set A looks like. Now here the value of n1, n2 and n3 would be nothing but a whole number. It will be something like that. And for the matter, since it starts with 9, you can see that assuming, it is fine. So now once you have done that in the first part, in the second part, let us find how many elements can there be of this form. You can see that here if I put n1 is equal to 0, n2 is equal to 0, you will find that, and n3 is equal to 1, you will get nothing but 9. You have got the first element. For getting 10, we can have 1, 6 and 1, 4. So if I put n1 is equal to 1, n2 is equal to 1 and n3 is equal to 0, I will get 10. Similarly, you will observe that we can get all the elements in these T except this 11. So when you find T minus A, only one element is left, that is nothing but 11. Now let us look into this next 2022 question. Question says that the sum of all the elements from 1 to 100 which have SCF with alpha and 24 equal to 1. See, now we are going to have a common factor with 24. Because if I write prime factorization of 24, it is 2q into 3. So you can see that you will only have a common factor if you have a 2 term or a 3 factor, 2 or 3 in the prime factorization of the number. So as a result, what I can do is either I could count all the numbers or I can do it by rejection. Wherein, let us first understand what is the sum of the numbers which will have a factor of 2. So it could be nothing but 2, 4, and until 100 I can write all such numbers. So this will be the sum of all those numbers. If you want to write, there are 50 terms here, so answer will become 50 by 2 a plus l. This is nothing but sum of arithmetic progression. So we have applied n by 2 a plus l in order to find the sum of the series. Now if same series would have been for 3, it will be 3, then 6, then 9, it will go up till 99. There are 33 terms here, so 33 divided by 2, 3 plus 99 will come. Now you can see that there might be terms which can have both. So both 2 and 3, so that will be multiples of 6. So 6, 36, now like this it will go. And now if I want to understand how many terms would be there, in order to get that, I can take this 100 divided by 6 and take greatest integer function. If I do it so, this will be 6 times 140 and 6 into 6 is 36. So this will come out to be 16 point something or 16. There are 16 terms here. So I can write this as nothing but, let us find the 16th term also. So that would be nothing but 16 into 6. So into 6 is 36. And this will become 96. The last one will become nothing but 96. You can write this as nothing but 16 divided by 2. 6 plus 96. This is the sum. See, now if I want to find the sum which has SCF not as 1, then in that scenario the sum will come out to be nothing but the sum of numbers having 2 multiple plus sum of numbers having 3 multiple minus sum of numbers having 6 multiple. This was nothing but S of 2. This was nothing but S of 3, and this is nothing but S of 6. The number of elements in A plus number of elements in B minus number of elements in A intersection B. We are using the same idea. So this comes out to be nothing but 50. This is 102. 102 divided by 2 will become nothing but 51. The next one will be 33 into 51. And the last one would be nothing but 16 into 51. I can simplify this. You can see that 51 can be taken common. We have 50 plus 33 minus 16 comes out to be 51 into 67. Now in the next step, since we want to find where this does not happen, so total minus 51 into 67 should give us the answer. So total, if I want to find sum of till 1 to 100, it is nothing but n into n plus 1 by 2. So 100 into 101 divided by 2 minus 51 into 67. If I simplify this, it comes out to be 1633. Now let us try this 2021 question. This question talks about a set B where all the elements are in the form of 9k plus 2. So if I divide the number by 9, the remainder should be equal to 2. The set C says that if I divide the number by 9, the remainder should be L. L lies between 0 and 9. And then A set is nothing but any number, natural number, which has a 3-digit number. So that would mean that B, any element if I take, should be a 3-digit number. So the minimum value of K that you can put is nothing but 11, because 11 into 9 will become 99, 99 plus 2 will become 101, that is nothing but a 3-digit number. And the maximum value that I can put is nothing but, the maximum value that I can put is 1010, because at 1011 it will cross, it will become 999 plus 2, that will become a 4-digit number. So I can only go from this value to this value. So this is one. So now what they are saying is, if I take intersection of A with B union C, and the answer and the sum of all the elements is 272 into 400, what can be the value of L? So now you can see that all such numbers would be 3-digit numbers in the union of B and C. Now there can be two cases here. Case 1 is that this L also becomes equal to 2. Now in this case, you can see that your B set and C set would be same. So their union will be B. So what we essentially want to find is A intersection B. And that would be nothing but the 9k plus 2 type of number. And if I want to find the sum, K will be equal to 11 to 110. 9k plus 2, this is what we will get. And if I find the value of this, let us find it out. It is going to be 9, we can take common, summation of 11 to 110. This is K, and then 2, we will have 2. And again 2, I can take a summation over it. So summation from 11 to 110 times 2. This we can do. Now from here, if you do this, what will be the sum? Let us figure it out. So it becomes 9 into, and you can see that n into n plus 1 by 2. So we can find the sum till 110. So n into n plus 1 divided by 2. And for the first 10 elements, let us subtract. So 10 into 11 by 2. For this term, you can see that this will come how many times? 110 minus 11 plus 1 times. You can see that we have figured out the sum of these. Now if I simplify this, it comes out to be nothing but 9 into 110 can be taken common. This will be nothing but 111 minus 1 divided by 2, plus this will become 200 after simplification. So this comes out to be 54650 after simplification. This is what we are getting. Now if I move to the second part, now what they are saying in the case 1, this sum should be equal to this number which is not matching with this description. Hence this cannot be the case. Let us move to the second case. Second case says that now L is not equal to 2. This is happening. So if you want to find this intersection, you will have the first summation from k is equal to 11 to 110 for all the values of 9k plus 2 types, which will come from B, and there will be again summation of k is equal to 11 to 110 for all values of 9k plus L types. Now this sum is equal to 274 into 400. Now you can see that this value we already figured out. This was nothing but 54650. So let us write this value. Now this you can see that this summation we can distribute into two parts from 11 to 110. 9k. So 9k we can write here. And then we have 11 and the L that will come nothing but 110 minus 10 times. This will happen. You can see that this we have written and this is equal to nothing but 274 into 400. Now all we need to do is do this basic calculation with this value we figured out in the first part also. And you can see that this is what we got in the first part. We can use the same result. Now if I use this result, this becomes 54650. This becomes nothing but 9 into 110 into 55. And this becomes L into 100. And now this comes out to be 274 into 400. Now let us simplify this. So this becomes nothing but 54650 and this becomes 54450. This is L into 100. This is nothing but 274 into 400. Now if I add the first two terms, let us see what do we get. So 54 is fine. 650 plus 450 will become nothing but, this is 54650, 54450. This becomes 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 1. This will become 9 and this will become 10. So this is what we are getting from the left hand side. From the right hand side, and now so this will become nothing but 109100 plus L into 100. This is 274 into 400. This 100 we can now cancel out from all the terms. So L, if I want to find, it is nothing but 274 into 4 minus 1091. Now 274 into 4, what is the value? So 274 into 4 will become 4 into 4 16, 1, 4 into 7 28, 29, and then 4 into 2 8, and this is 1096. So from 1096, if I subtract 1091, the answer comes out to be 5. Now let us look into type 6 problem. Type 6 problems are based on the intersection of PNC and set theory. Now let us look into this 2022 question. Question says that there is a set A given to us. There is also a set B given to us. Both of these sets are given. Now they want us to find a set C in such a manner that it is a subset of A, but it should have also some intersection with B. So in simple language, what they are saying is you take at least 1, 2 or 3 elements that are there in B and then figure out a subset of A corresponding to that. So what we will do, we will use case method. Let us take case 1. So the maximum element that can be common between A and B can be nothing but 3, that is 3, 6 and 7. Now corresponding to these 3 elements, you can see that now I will highlight this element so that you are also able to connect with the solution. So 3, 6 and 7 are gone. Now you can take either 1 or you can take 2, you can take 4, or you can take 5. Now what we can see is we can either make cases or we can go from subject object approach. That would mean any of them could be present or absent. So corresponding to 1, there will be 2 cases, corresponding to 2, there will be 2 cases, corresponding to 4, there will be 2 cases, corresponding to 5, there will be 2 cases. So total cases becomes nothing but 2 raised to the power 4. This is my case 1. Now corresponding to case 2, what is happening? I can take 2 out of this 3, 6, 7. So now out of 3 elements, I can take any 2. So if I take any 2, how many cases are possible? So out of 3, I can take 2 in 3C2 ways. And then out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can repeat this idea. It can happen in similar number of ways. So this part will remain same. So answer corresponding to this becomes nothing but 3 into 2 raised to the power 4. So I have taken 2 from 3, 6, 7 to like 3, 6 and then other elements from the A. This is what we are doing. In case 3, I can move forward and take any one out of these. So any one would mean out of 3, 6, 7, I can choose one in 3C1 ways and then we can repeat this second part of the solution. So I can still do the same thing. So corresponding to this also, you will get nothing but 3 into 2 raised to the power 4 cases. So if I want to find my final answer is going to be nothing but 2 raised to the power 4. 3 into 2 raised to the power 4, 3 into 2 raised to the power 4. This is nothing but 7 into 16. That comes out to be 112. Now types and problems are based on nothing but intersection of functions and sets. Now this question came in 2016. This question talks about a functional equation. And then the options are given in terms of set theory. So if you look into this question, the first step would be to solve functional equation. The functional equation will have 3 to 4 methods to solve. Such kind of questions, and this will also see when we do functions, can be solved using substitution method. So what we can do here is we can substitute x by 1 by x. So this will become f of 1 by x plus 2 times fx would be equal to 3 by x. So I can now eliminate f of 1 by x by doing substitution. So 3 by x minus 2 times fx. We'll substitute in the first equation and get the value of fx from there. So fx plus 2 times 3 by x minus 2 fx, this will be equal to 3x, and if I simplify this, you will get minus 3 times fx on the left hand side, and then right hand side becomes 3x minus 6 by x. Minus 3 we can cancel out, and the value of fx comes out to be nothing but 2 by x minus x. Now this is the first part of the question. Now they are making an equation out of it in the second part. So S is nothing but a set in such that fx is equal to 1 by x. So let us write fx and equal to f of minus x. So this becomes nothing but 2 by x minus x. And this is minus 2 by x plus x. So what we are getting is nothing but 4 by x is equal to 2x, or x square is equal to 2. Correspondingly from here we can get two values of x plus minus root. So number of elements in the set x are nothing but equal to 2. Hence C option comes out to be correct. Now let us start with type 8 problems that are based on the intersection of modulus and set theory. Now here, before solving question, there are 2-3 things that you should know about modulus. If I am solving a modulus equation and if modulus of x is equal to 2, that would mean x can take 2 values plus minus 2. Second is, if modulus of x is equal to minus 2, there is no solution to it. Another thing regarding in equation that we need to do 2 more points. One is, if mod of x is greater than 2, this would translate into x can either be greater than 2 or x can be smaller than minus 2. And second point is, if mod of x is smaller than 2, it will translate into x can be either be between 2 and minus 2 and plus 2. So this will follow. These are the 2 important ideas that we need to know in order to solve modulus based question. Now in this only, there is a small thing that you need to understand, that if modulus of x is greater than minus 2, this is always possible to x will become a real number. And if somebody says that modulus of x is smaller than minus 2, this is not possible, so x belongs to null set. So now these red things would generally be not asked. They will focus on the first 4 points that I have told you. Now let us look into this 2023 question. Question says that number of elements in the set. Number of elements you can easily find if you can get the set. Set you can be able to find if you solve this modulus equation, inequation. So let us do that. In the first part, let us remove the modulus sign. So whatever is inside the mod will lie between -6 and 6. Now if I look into the step 2 of this question, we are going to split into two inequalities. So either n square minus 10n plus 19 should be greater than -6. And there is an n in between, don't forget that. N square minus 10n plus 19 should also be smaller than 6. We'll have to solve both of these and take the common solution. If I solve the first one, it becomes n square minus 10n plus 25 is greater than 0. This can be written as n minus 5 whole square is greater than 0. See, now this will always be true except when n is not equal to 5. At 5 it will become equal to 0 and it will not satisfy. So n cannot be equal to 5. If I solve the second part, let us see that what do we get from there. So you can see that in the second part this will become n square minus 10n plus 13 is smaller than 0. And if I solve this and get the roots, what will be the answer? So it will be 10 plus minus root of 100 minus 4 into 13 divided by 2, and this will become 5 plus minus root of 12. Now whenever an quadratic inequality is smaller than 0, and this you should know that if we have x square, ax square minus bx plus c is smaller than 0, where a is greater than 0, then answer of this will lie between both of its roots. So answer becomes nothing but alpha comma beta being the roots, it will lie between that. This you should understand, this is very important idea. So directly we can write from here that the value of n will lie between 5 minus root 12 to 5 plus root 12. Now let us take intersection of both the answers that we have got. So the first part, so let us draw it on the number line. So we have 5 minus root 12. There is 5 plus root 12 on the other side. And now you can see that if I am going like this, there 5 is going to be in between. We can't have this value because the first part has excluded this value, others are fine. From the second part, if you see, the answer needs to be between these two values. So what are the common solutions that are possible? Let us find the value of root 12 first. So root of 12, if you want to find, it is nothing but 2 times root 3 or 2 into 1.732 comes out to be nothing but this 32 is not important, just multiply with 17, it will become 3.4. So from 5, if you subtract 3.4, it is going to approximately become 1.6. And if you add here, then this will become nothing but 8.4. So you can see that between these values, how many integers are possible? So of course, there will be nothing but 2. There would be 3, there would be 4. 5 we can't take, but there would be 6, 7, and of course there will be 8. So you can see that there are 6 values possible. So answer of this question becomes nothing but 6. Now let us look into this 2020 problem. It says that we have two sets, A set and B set. Let us follow our idea. There is a smaller sign. I want to write A in the first part. So for this A, what is going to happen? X will lie between minus 2 to 2. This is what is happening. So if I look it on a number line, there is minus 2, there is 2. We want to write these values. Now in the B part and or B set, what they are saying is this is greater than. So we can split this into x minus 2 can either be smaller than minus 3. So x can be smaller than equal to minus 1. Or x minus 2 should be greater than equal to 3, x is greater than equal to 5. So if I represent on the number line, you can see that values smaller than or equal to minus 1 will come. And then value greater than or equal to 5 will come. So in the third part, now what they are saying is you need to check which of these options is true. So let us check the options. If I want to write the A option that is given to me, the first option, A minus B if I find. So from A set, if I subtract the B set, you can see that what will remain. So minus 2 to, so what will happen is minus 2 to minus 1 will go away and you will have minus 1 to 5, minus 1 to 2 value. This value we will have where 2 is obviously not included and minus 1 is also not included. So you can see that there is a locha of this kind of a bracket they are using, so this option cannot be correct. If I want to check the option 2, what I can do is I can draw them on the same number line and then take all the common points. So what we are doing is from minus 2 to 2, it is here like this. Then minus 1 would be here, 5 would be here. So we are already considering these values. And from here, we will get some more values till here. You can see that if I am finding union, what is going to happen? On the number line, we will be able to cover values till 2 and from 5 onwards. So what is missing is a patch of 2 to 5. So we can write this as nothing but a real number r minus 2 comma 5. When you are doing this, you can see that 5 is already there. So we will put an open bracket and you can see that 2 we will have to remove. So this will put a close bracket and here we'll put an open bracket. Okay, you can see that there is a locha of kind of a bracket that they are using here. Okay, this cannot be the right answer. Let us do the third part. Let us take the third part. Third part is if I subtract from BA. So again what you can do is you can subtract the intersection values. So intersection will be from minus 2 to 1. Those values we can subtract. And as a result, what will happen? If I draw it on the number line, from infinity to minus 2 I can go because these values are still there. And then minus till 2, till 5 there is nothing. And from 5 onwards I can still have values. So this will become my set. Now we can see that they are exactly subtracting these values from here. And C option becomes the correct option. Now if I look into this 2018 question, they have given us a modulus equation this time. So what I can do is, in the first place only, I can put root of x is nothing but t. If I do it so, this becomes 2t minus 3 ka mod. This becomes t into t minus 6 plus 6 equal to 0. But still I can't solve it because there is a modulus sign here. So I will have to remove it. So I will consider two cases. Let us take case 1 in which t is smaller than 3. If I consider this, the modulus will open with a negative sign. So minus 2t plus 6 plus t square minus 6t plus 6 would be equal to 0. So what we are getting is ultimately t square minus 8t plus 12 is equal to 0. The value of t can be 6 and 2. See, since t is smaller than 3, I can't accept 6. The only acceptable value is nothing but 2. Corresponding to this, root x will be equal to 2. X comes out to be 4. So this is one solution. Another solution we can get from case 2. What is case 2? T should be greater than or equal to 3. So if I open the bracket now, this is 2t minus 6 plus t square minus 6t plus 6 would be equal to 0. 6 will get cancelled out. We have t square minus 4t is equal to 0. Correspondingly, t can be either equal to 0 or t can be equal to 4. This is unacceptable solution because t is greater than or equal to 3. This is fine. So root of x will be equal to 4, x comes out to be 16. So we can see that there are two acceptable solutions based on the conditions given in the question. Hence option C becomes the correct answer. Now let us look into this interesting 2021 question. Question talks about 3 different kinds of inequalities given to us. And then they are talking about number of subsets of the set. So there are 3 parts of this question. First we will solve and find the value of ABC. Then we will take the intersection of A, B and C, find its complement and see how many integers are there in that set. This is what we need to do. Once you have figured that out, we will have to find the number of subsets of the set that we have figured out. So there are 3 steps in this question. Let us start step by step. In the first, let us find the set A. For A, we need to solve this. So you can see that x can be x minus 2 be either greater than 1 or x minus 2 be smaller than minus 1. From here we can get is x is greater than 3. This will become x is smaller than 1. This is the first that we are getting. In the B set, and in the B part, what they are saying is root of x square minus 3 is nothing but greater than 1. We can square things up because both the things are positive. So x square minus 4 is greater than 0. We can factorize this into x minus 2 into x plus 2 greater than 0, and you can see that through wavy curve method the answer will either be greater than 2 or smaller than minus 2. Let us move towards the set C now there, which we are discussing in the question. They are saying that x minus 4 modulus is greater than equal to 2, which can in turn be written as x minus 4 should be greater than equal to 2, or x minus 4 is smaller than equal to minus 2. So if I simplify this, what is going to happen? On the number line, we could get either values of x greater than or equal to 6 or smaller than equal to 2. Now what they are saying is take the intersection of all these. So let us draw them in the step 2 and figure out our A intersection B intersection C part. For that we'll have to draw all of them on a single number line and then check which are the common portions. If I do so, let us see what happens. In the first part, so now important points are nothing but minus 2 to 2, that is, put this. So this is the set B, and we are saying that it is smaller than minus 2 and greater than 2. Then another one is the set A that talks about value that are smaller than 1 and then greater than 3. So let us put 3 here. And then the last one is nothing but the set C that talks about values which are smaller than or equal to 2, and then you have 6 and then greater than or equal to 6. This is what we have. So you can see that if I talk about the common portion, where it will occur for values smaller than or equal to minus 2 or values of x greater than or equal to 6. So if I talk about the set, what am I getting? I am getting minus infinity to minus 2. This is open. Union 6 to infinity, 6 is closed. Then in the next part, what they are asking us is to take the complement of this set. So if I find A intersection B intersection C complement, it is going to become minus 2 to 6. Minus 2 is included, 6 is not included. Now in the fourth part, they want us to figure out how many integers are here. So A intersection B intersection C complement intersection integers. So we will get a very exclusive set of minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you can see that 3, 3, 6, 8 elements we are getting. So number of subsets in the fifth part. If I want to find number of subsets, it is nothing but 2 raised to the power n. The value of n in this question is nothing but 8. 2 raised to the power 8 comes out to be 256. Now this beautiful 2018 question connects the idea of modulus, set and ellipse. In order to understand this question, you need to understand that A comma B are coming from R cross X. R cross X would mean nothing but the Cartesian plane. So instead of writing A comma B, if you just replace this by X comma Y, your life is going to become much more simpler and efficient. Now in order to do that, let us write here X. So the first A set, if I want to explore, now it becomes nothing but x minus 5 ka mod is smaller than 1. That would mean x minus 5 will lie between minus 1 and 1. So x will lie between nothing but 4 and 6. Similar thing will happen with y also, because y minus 5 ka modulus is smaller than 1. So you can see that if I solve, I will get the same idea that y lies between again 4 and 6. What does that mean? If I want to represent this on a graph, what is the region that we are getting? And now let us check that out. You can see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is the region, and where these lines are not included, because we are talking about region inside. Similarly, we can do the same analysis on the other side. We will get this region. We are talking about this region that lies between 4 and 5 here, and 4 and 6 here, and 4 and 6 here. This is the solution of the A part. Now let us go to the B part and see what happens in the B part. So if I go towards the B part, the question says that 4 times x minus 6 whole square plus 9 times y minus 5 whole square is smaller than equal to 36. If I write it down, you might be able to observe this as nothing but a shifted ellipse. So this will become 9. This will become y minus 5 whole square by 4 is smaller than equal to 1. Now if you want to draw this, this is talking about the region inside the ellipse whose center is at 6, 5. So let us look at a point 6. There is a point 5. So there is this, and we are talking about this region. So now if I am talking about the region inside it, including the boundaries. Now if I overlap both of these diagrams, because we want to talk about intersection or something, then we will want to overlap both of these. So if I just take this and overlap, this is how it is going to look like. So what is going to happen in this case is, your 6, 5 would be somewhere here. This is the center, and then the ellipse is going to be like this. And since we are talking about inside area, you can see that the whole of the set A will lie inside set B. So visually you can see that option B comes out to be the correct answer. Type 9 questions are based on the intersection of exponential functions, equations and sets. Now let us look into this question that was asked in 2020. You can see that you have been given an exponential equation mixed with modulus equation, and they are asking answer in terms of set theory. So let us do this. So what we can do is, in the first step, we can just substitute 3 raised to the power x equal to t. Now for exponential functions, you should remember 3 important ideas. Let us go over them one time and then come back to question. If I draw the graph of a raised to the power x, the graph looks something like this if a is greater than 1. So something like 3 raised to the power x is going to look like this. So the value of 3 raised to the power x will always be greater than 0. Another graph that we can get is if we have values of a between 0 and 1. So if we have something like this, 1 by 3 raised to the power x, then the graph will look something like this. Still it is going to be positive, but the nature will become decreasing. Next idea that we need to consider or understand is, if somebody says that a raised to the power x is equal to a raised to the power y, that would mean x is equal to y. In case of inequality, if a raised to the power x is greater than a raised to the power y, if we want to solve a if greater than 1, then we can reduce this into x is greater than y. But a, if it is between 0 and 1, the sign will get flipped and it will become smaller than, because the graph is decreasing in nature. Now, if sometimes a raised to the y is not written in a very good manner, so we'll have to take log on both the sides and then solve the question. So this is the underlying theory that you need to understand for solving such kind of question. There is a fourth case that is rarely asked but sometimes asked, when we have something like x raised to the power y is equal to 1. This is an important case and there are 3 sub cases in this. The first one is when x will become equal to 1. Another solution is possible then when y becomes 0 and x is not equal to 0. The second part is very important, it is skipped idea. And another solution we can get if x becomes minus 1 but y is even. Now this question has not been asked here, it has been already covered in quadratic. Now let us look into this 2020 question. This question says that you have been given this equation. How to solve it? So we are going to take 3 raised to the power x is t. And if I do so, you can see that this will become t minus 1 plus 2 on the left hand side, and then t minus 1 ka mod plus t minus 2 ka mod on the right hand side. Now the question is not asking us the exact solutions. So it is not required to interpret this into 3 cases, t is smaller than 1, between 1 and 2, greater than 2, and then solve it. We just need to find the number of solutions. So we can solve this question graphically. Let us draw the graph of this part. And if I do so, what I have got is nothing but t into t minus 1 plus 2. So this graph if I draw, it is going to look like this. T into t minus 1 would have been like this. But since I am adding to it, will get shifted upwards like this. So this value that was earlier 0 will become 2. This value corresponding to 1 that have been 0 will become 2. And the minimum value will come at nothing but 1 by 2, which if I find will become nothing but 2 minus 1 by 4, and 2 minus 1 by 4 is nothing but 7 by 4. So this value becomes 7 by 4. This is the first graph that we have already drawn. Important thing to understand here, see t when you are taking 3 raised to the power x, so t will always be greater than 0. So when you are drawing this graph, important thing to understand is this is the graph of this polynomial, that is fine, but we will only get this part of the graph because we can't put value of t smaller than 0. So you can see that all of these values that are coming on the left hand side will not come. Now let us move on to the right hand side. And the right hand side, what we have is nothing but t minus 1 ka mod plus t minus 2 ka mod. If you want to draw the graph of this, there is a technique known as table method. we are going to take some values of t. Correspondingly, we'll find the value of y or the function corresponding to that. How to consider those values? See, 1 we will take as nothing but 1, where this modulus will become 0, 2. And take a value smaller than 0, that will become 0. And take a value greater than 2, that will become 3. If I substitute these values, what am I getting? For t is equal to 0, you will get nothing but 3. For 1, if I put, I will get 1. For 2 also, I will get 1. And for 3, if I put, this will again become 3. So if I plot this graph, this is how the graph looks like. Let us plot this point. So at 0, it will become 3. So there is a point 3 here. 0, 3. Then at 1, it will become 1. At 2 also, it will remain 1. And at 3, it will again become 3. So if you draw the graph, we will get this graph. Once you have drawn the graph, again you will notice the idea that t, since is equal to 3 raised to the power x, t will be greater than 0. So when I am actually drawing the graph, we will only get this red part of the graph, we will not get the whole graph. Now as we do for finding solution, we will overlap both of these cases and see what are the common solutions. So in the next part or the third part, let us overlap these graphs. And if I do so, the left graph, let me draw using blue. So it is coming out to be something like this. This value is nothing but 2. Wherein I am drawing the other graph using pink. So we have this 1, then 2, then 3. So you can see that this value will become 3. And that at 1, it will take value 1. That will become 1. And then it will go like this. You can see that there is only one point of intersection here. And the answer of this question becomes singleton set. Now this next 2019 question is a very interesting one. What they are saying in the first part is, if I want to find the set A, it will become nothing but 2 raised to the power x plus 2 into x square minus 5x plus 6. This will be equal to 2 raised to the power 0. So x plus 2 into x square minus 5x plus 6 will be equal to 0. The value of x that will get is minus 2, 2 and 3. We are getting these three values, and since x belongs to z is given integer, all these three values are acceptable. If I move towards the B part or B set of the question, they have given us a simple inequality where 2x minus 1 lies between minus 3 and 9. You can see that x will become nothing but 2x will become between minus 2 and 10, and x will be nothing between minus 1 and 5. You can see that if x is an integer, it is written here. The possible values in this set B would be nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now what they are saying is number of subsets. If you want to find subsets in the next part, so this was first part, this is second step. In the third step, we'll have to find number of elements in A cross B. This is equal to number of elements in A into number of elements in B. A we had 3 elements, in B we had 5 elements, total elements become 15. So in the fourth part, if I want to find number of subsets, it will be equal to nothing but 2 raised to the power n or 2 raised to the power 15. So you can see that C option matches.
If you like this video, you will also like PracBee's unique one-on-one last mile journey program. In this program, we sit with the student, understand their preparation till this point of time. And based on that, in step 2, we write a customized planner just for you to help you optimize your marks in JEE Mains exam based on whatever preparation you have done. In the step 3, we sit with you one-on-one by a set of faculties aligned by PracBee and help you implement the customized plan that we wrote for you. Students have come to us with limited, no or good preparation, and all have been able to score their marks to a large extent. Ashish, using this program, was able to improve his fortunes by lot, starting from 95 percentile in JEE Mains attempt 2 to getting selected for mechanical in IIT Madras. Ditya, over a period of time, was able to crack into JEE Advanced using this program. If you think that this seems interesting to you, click on the link below in the description, fill the required details, and somebody from my team will get in touch with you.